Hey everybody, I'm Bill. I'm a salty old Marine. Today I want to talk to you about something that is incredibly important to me. And I need to set the stage a little bit before we jump into it. So I've made videos before and I talked to other veterans about VA disability claims. And one of the things that I believe very strongly in is the power of a personal log of your symptoms. So, for example, if you're filing a disability claim for IBS, that's a little bit on the gross side. We don't want to talk about it. But one of the things that the VA rates you on if you're filing for IBS is, well, the nature of the irritable bowel syndrome that you're experiencing. So a personal log, a record of exactly what happens and when it happens is important in the rating process. So if you can keep a written log and turn that in with your claim, that's very useful. Same thing for things like migraines. So if you experience migraines, the way the VA rates migraines is very largely based upon frequency and severity and exactly what you're going through in terms of how it affects your ability to hold down a job and interact with your family and have a social life and all of that, right? So again, personal logs are, well, they're incredibly important. Now, having said that, most of us don't walk around with a pad of paper and a pencil, right? We don't keep it with us at all times. And maybe we just don't, think about writing things down when they happen, even though we know it's important to do so. So as a result, there are some tools out there that have kind of evolved and come onto the market. And some of them have come onto the market for other reasons, but as it turns out, they are incredibly valuable for keeping personal logs as well. So this is what I want to talk about today. And I am going to tout a product. The product is called Guava Health. Now, full disclaimer, I am not being paid to make this video. The people at Guava Health know who I am, and I help them to write an article on their webpage. We're going to put a link to that in the description, talking about how Guava Health can be used with your VA disability claims advantageously. And I'm on their patient advisory board. And as such, I got a free copy of the paid version of the Guava Health app. But they are not paying me to write this, nor did they ask me to write this. This is something that I want to do. And I want to do it because it's important, right? And because I've looked at a lot of different apps out there, and none of them come close to what I get from Guava Health app. So let's jump into it, right? All those disclaimers aside, right? Trust me, I'm not getting paid by the Guava Health people. All right, so Guava Health is an application, right? You can get it on your phone, whether it's an Apple phone, an Android phone, a tablet, whether it's web-based, like you just log into it from, and we'll put a link to the URL in the description. What does Guava Health do? Well, basically, Guava Health is a health tracker, and it works in a variety of different ways. Here's some examples. I wear a smart watch, right? So here's my smart watch. I wear it 24/7, and the reason I've gotten into the habit of doing that is because it does things for me that I like. Like it keeps track of how long I sleep. It keeps track of my breathing rate. It keeps track of, a variety of other things, right? Lots of metrics. And it uploads those via the Google Fit application, and that can be picked up by Guava Health, right? So I can look at metrics under Guava Health. We're going to put some screenshots up here. I can look at metrics and it's going to say, oh, look, my resting heart rate is 61. Not because I'm in great shape. I take medication to make it do that. I got 6 hours and 54 minutes of sleep last night. Yay, that's more than usual. I've gotten in 1,936 steps today. That's terrible. My blood pressure, etc., right? All of these metrics are listed here. What's as important as that is I can see where it's going, right? So I can punch this up and say, oh, based on my previous heart rates, for example, it's averaging up, it's averaging down, whatever, right? I can print this up in the form of a log file. So if that is important information to provide in a VA disability log, I can print that up as a PDF, download it, send it to myself, upload it to the VA portal, whatever I want to do with it, right? So that's incredibly useful. In addition to that, and I find this just fascinating, it's endlessly fascinating, I can tie it into, and I have, virtually all of my health provider portals. So for example, the VA, right? If I go to see my VA doctor and they write something in what would be my blue button report, show up as an entry, it also shows up here in Guava. By the way, this is all HIPAA compliant, so you can trust that it's not stealing your data or anything like that. This is a good company. And you have to give it permission, right, for this to happen. You have to set this all up with the usernames and passwords and all that. But the VA trusts Guava Health to do this, and Guava Health seems to be doing a great job of it. Yay, thanks, guys. So my VA health portal is in here. My Blue Cross Blue Shield, my insurance is in here. Where I have my blood work done is in here. My doctor's portal for migraines is in here, and for dermatology, because I got some skin cancer, non-VA related, just something I have. It's all in here, right? So very often I get reports in Guava Health, even before I get an email saying it's in my patient portal and I can go log into it and look. It's all here. It's all in one place. I have instant access to it. And as I mentioned earlier, keeping logs is something that you can do with this application. Again, we're going to put some stuff up here on the screen, but I can say migraines. I can put in some notes. So I say, okay, I'm experiencing a migraine. It's starting right now. Here's some notes. Here's what's happening. A very painful headache, flashing lights in my eyes, extreme sensitivity to light and sound. I'm going to have to go home from work for the day. And so I do that, and then when it's over, I put down the migraine is over. So I've got the duration in here. And when I have collected that information and I'm ready to file a VA disability claim, I can export this to a log file in a PDF format, and I can upload it to my VA portal as a claim. Again, this is vitally important, and you've pretty much always got your phone with you, don't you? I mean, I don't know about you, but I take it pretty much everywhere, and actually I take it more places now than maybe I used to, because it's just that important. So although I like Guava Health for a whole lot of reasons, mostly health related, right? It's got some really great features to it. It's incredibly useful if you're a veteran and you're filing VA disability claims and you want to be able to keep track of your symptoms and your medical conditions, and you want to export those in a log format, which you can then send to the VA as a personal log. It is outstanding for that. And in fact, I used it for my migraine claim. I used it for my GERD claim. I used it for my IBS claim. I could have used it for my PTSD claim, but I had actually filed that claim before I even knew about Guava Health. So in summary, what I want to say here is there's a lot of applications on the market that track things like migraines, right? I heard about some of those applications. I tried a few of them. They were great at what they do, but I needed something that tracked more than just one symptom. And somebody recommended this to me. I tried it. I use it every day. My wife uses it every day. I think it's the most amazing thing since sliced bread. And that's why I'm doing this video. So I'm just urging you, first of all, whatever you do, keep track of your symptoms. Write them down, file them with your claims. It's incredibly important. However you do that, right? You want to use a pencil and paper, fine, that's great. But Guava Health is a fantastic tool, and so I urge you to use it. And that's all I got to say about that. I'm going to put links in. I'm going to put in some screenshots. Yeah, super happy, guys. I'm Bill. I'm the salty old Marine. I'm sorry if this sounds like a TV commercial. It's not what I intended, but I got to tell you how great this application is, and I can't think of any other way to share that information except through one of these videos. So please like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, and as always, my friends, have a great day.